is time to go treasure hunting yet again, and this time we are beginning over at Join Aria Greenhouse, which is going to be the hub area for these two quest chains. We have nature and we have water. We will be beginning with the nature quest chain, and it does have a couple pretty quirky quests. First of all, we are joining Fairy, and once here you want to speak to Dewdrop, and once you have done that, you can head through the map to the right hand side where you will find yourself the Tree of Life. You just need to head right up to it. As soon as you walk up to it and touch it, you will then get the other quest item. Turn it in and we'll be moving on to quest number 2, which is called String of Turtles. Now, if you'd like to complete String of Turtles, join Pines and you just need to defeat the red turtle, which is right here. Once you've repeated that 5 times, you'll be able to turn that quest in and we can move on to our next location, which is going to be Join Cloister. Once you're at the cloister, defeat the Scarecrows until you have the 5 items required, and then you'll need to follow this path that I take from the starting area, and you'll find yourself a hidden NPC once you reach this room. Specifically, it is going to be the leaf attached to the tree, so just click on this leaf right here, and that will load up the cloister, and that is all you need to do for that quest. We can turn it in, and we'll move on to Blood Red Carnations. For this one, you need to join Darkovia Forest, where you have to solve the tombstone puzzle. You need to click on them in the same order I do. You can see the little ripple effect. I will also ping up the image from the wiki at the end for those that would rather pause the screen and copy that way. You'll know you've done it because the moon in the background will glow green. If you do it wrong at any point, or you do the combination wrong, it will glow red. As I said a second ago, pause the screen. In the bottom left, you can see the order that you need to click on those tombstones, just in case that helps anyone out. Okie dokes, we are now moving on to our next quest, which is going to be Cottongrass. You need to join Northlands and defeat the Snow Golem 8 times. Once you've done that, that quest is nice and simple and you can move on to the next one. And this time round, we're joining a map that came out not all that long ago, to be honest with you. Join Delu's Tundra is the map in question. First of all, you just need to defeat these critters, or these empty creatures that are right at the start. Continue through the map to find yourself the Expeditioner. If he's not appearing here on this screen, then you'll just need to complete the quest chain in this area, and he should appear, I suspect. Once you've done that though, you need to find the last word, so you want to head north from this point here, hang a right, and then you'll find yourself a scroll chilling on the ground. Once you open up and read that, the minute you close it, you'll get your quest item, and that is our next one complete. So we can move on to our next step, and this time round we need some silver snakes. In order to do this, you want to join a yokai treasure, and on top of the boat, head all the way through the right, and you'll find yourself quicksilvers. Beating up 14 of those will reward you all the items that you need to turn in that quest. We're now moving on, and this time round we're going to join Haku War. This is one of our first boss monsters. There are a few we are going to have to defeat throughout this video, and as you can see, that one right there will reward you the item that you're looking for. Okie dokes folks, so next up we have got yet another boss, and this is to get the Gold Rose Petal. Join Yokai Realm and head all the way to the very end of the map. There's 2 like little bosses at this one. Has about 1,000,000 HP, but once you get it down, you'll get that Gold Rose Petal that you have been looking for. Then we can finally begin the final quest for the nature set. This one, I believe you can go back to Aria's garden and speak to the NPC on the far right to teleport you, or you can just join Vivaldi Cavern like I did. There'll be a nice blue arrow pointing on the statue, and then once you've done that, you have got yourself your first quest item and completed that quest chain. So that means we need to head back to Aria's greenhouse, and once here, we'll speak to Aria yet again, would you believe, to start the water quest. We can see we've got a nice big tick next to the nature ones now, which is absolutely lovely. People and Scarecrows, you need to join the farm and defeat the Scarecrows. Once you have collected enough of those, you'll be able to turn in the first quest of this new set. We then need Dolphins and Sharks. Now, this time round, you need Fisherman Soldiers, which you can get from Join Pirate. I believe it's 6 items that you will be needing again. In fact, it is. I can literally see that if I looked at my own screen. And then you can turn that quest in and we can move on to our third one. And this time round, it is Dragons and Lizards. Join Natatorium and you need to defeat Draconians. Only 5 items needed this time around, and then that will be another quest done. Water and Oil is up next, and this time we are going to be joining Fever Few. First of all, speak to the NPC, which will reward you the Find River Walker item, and then conveniently there is a Coral Creeper right here, which will give you those 14 items that you need to collect. We can then head over to our next location, and this time we are joining Black Sea Keep. A few different monsters in this zone will reward you the pirate's clue you're looking for, but I found it easier just to defeat those scallywags right there because they're really the first kind of dual monsters you come across. You'll then need to complete Sunlight and Moonbeams. Join Sunlight Zone is the map, and it is these blighted waters right here that will give you the 10 items that you're looking for. We are staying within this kind of theme for the moment, so the next map we're going to be heading along to this time round is the Midnight Zone for midnight and noon. You want to walk through the map until you find the wraiths, and then you'll need to defeat 12 of these to reward you all of those quest items that you're looking for. Now, the next quest, believe it or not, is actually from Blighted Waters again, but it is a slightly different map because there's a couple different versions of them. So join Abyssal Zone, and again, you'll need to walk all the way through the map until you head to this downward section where there are those Blighted Waters. Make sure you're defeating these ones, not the ones from the previous map, because like I say, they are different versions, so they'll not drop you the item you're looking for. Make sure it's those ones right there on screen. Okie dokes, this one is a bit of an interesting one. Odette and Odile, if that's how you're meant to say it. Join the Ritz is our map location. This boss can be incredibly annoying, so it is really helpful to go along and do this with a group. Ideally, if you're going along completing these quest chains currently, while this is the active event, then you should be absolutely fine in finding some people to complete that with. Your next quest is actually just using a load of temporary items that you've collected. I say they're temporary ones. They go into your main inventory and clog it up, so make sure you don't delete them because that would be really annoying if you get to this point and then decide to bin them all off. And then that will unlock you your final quest where you can speak to that NPC we showed you and you can teleport yourself over to this map right here, which then will just complete the quest chain. So folks, as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do leave the video a like and of course subscribe, and I'll see you all again for another one incredibly soon. So until then, have a lovely day.